Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1980. A man sits alone in a dim workshop surrounded by broken televisions and dismantled locks, the scraps of a life built with steady hands but empty pockets. Tommy Glenn Carmichael is 35, a high school dropout working 2 jobs, making $18,000 a year, barely keeping a roof over his family's head. Every bill feels like a warning. Overdue, final notice, past due. And the American dream hangs above him like a neon sign that's lost its power. Tommy can fix anything except his own life. And that's when his old friend Ray calls, asking a question that will change everything. You ever been to Vegas? Tommy scoffs. He can't even afford new tires. But Ray isn't talking about casinos. He's talking about the machines inside them, the gears and switches and sensors that make Vegas billions. And he says one thing Tommy can't ignore: they're mechanical, which means they can be beaten. Ray shows him a crude piece of bent steel called a slider. Ugly, simple, stupid, but it can fool a slot machine into thinking it's being fed coins when it's not. Illegal, sure, but profitable. Tommy looks at his accounts, the negative balances, the maxed out credit cards, and he makes the choice that will pull him out of poverty and into a new world where every spin is a crime. Two weeks later, under the neon heat of downtown Las Vegas, Tommy sits at his first slot machine, heart hammering hard enough to shake his shirt. He watches Ray slip the slider into the coin slot, pull the lever, and 20 coins hit the tray. Then 20 more. Then 50. No alarms, no guards. Just a lucky tourist winning and walking away with $200 after starting with 1. Tommy tries it next, his fingers trembling as he inserts his own slider, disguised as a car key. Feels it catch the machine's internal switch. And suddenly, 3 bars line up, and 50 coins pour out like a metal waterfall. In 15 minutes, he makes more than in 2 weeks of honest labor. By midnight, he's up $890. Driving home to Oklahoma, Tommy knows one thing: he's not stopping. He's upgrading. Back in his garage, he buys old slot machines from casino auctions and tears them apart like autopsy subjects. He studies every lever, every micro switch, every choke point. He's not gambling anymore. He's engineering. And soon, the crude tool Ray showed him evolves into the Carmichael Slider 5.2, thinner steel, sharper angle, faster insertion. With it, Tommy becomes a ghost in casinos across America, never hitting the same floor twice, never taking more than 500 per stop, blending in as a harmless tourist with average clothes and tired eyes. From 1980 to 1984, he earns more than he ever dreamed, $60,000 to $80,000 a year. For a man who started with nothing, it feels like beating the system, but the system evolves too. By 1985, casinos roll out new machines with smarter sensors and hardened mechanisms. The slider dies overnight, but Tommy doesn't quit. He builds something new, the monkey paw. A guitar string fused to a thin metal spine, bent into a hook that can manually flip the coin counter inside second-generation machines. Cheating becomes precision surgery. He inserts the tool, feels his way through metal like a safecracker, picking locks in the dark, and the machine pays. It isn't easy, but Tommy is a locksmith. Difficulty is his native language. During this period, Tommy begins keeping a small black notebook, not with plans for new devices, but with sketches of every machine he encounters across dozens of casinos. He notes payout timing, lever resistance, even the sound of each machine's internal click cycle. To surveillance teams, he looks like a bored gambler doodling while he plays. In reality, he's building an encyclopedia of vulnerabilities, a private field manual that lets him walk into any casino and know, almost instantly, which machines were manufactured before quality control tightened, and which ones would give up their coins with just a whisper of pressure on the internal switch. Over 2 years, he perfects the technique and earns more than $100,000 annually. Until, one night at Caesar's Palace, a guard doubles back, catches sight of Tommy's hand in the coin slot, and the monkey paw hangs from his fist like a confession. Arrested, convicted, 10 months in jail. Most cheaters would stop here. Tommy rebuilds. Because in 1989, a new era begins. fully electronic slot machines with optical sensors that use beams of light instead of mechanical switches. The monkey paw is useless, but Tommy sees opportunity inside the failure. If the sensor depends on light, what happens if you blind it? In his garage, he experiments with LEDs, laser pointers, battery packs, until the components fuse into a device casinos will fear for decades: the light wand. A tiny optical weapon that, when inserted into the payout chute, blinds the sensor, causing the machine to pay endlessly until Tommy decides otherwise. No force, no damage, just pure exploitation of a design flaw. By 1990, Tommy tests the wand at Circus Circus. He plays, loses, then triggers the wand. The machine begins paying and keeps paying. 90 seconds later, he's $850 richer. No alarms, no suspicion. A new golden age begins. For 6 straight years, Tommy runs one of the longest, quietest casino heists in American history. $2,000 to $3,000 per casino, 3 casinos per morning, more at night. A daily haul of $12,000 to $15,000, annual income $2 to $3 million. He buys houses, cars, businesses. He keeps his lifestyle boring, his clothes plain, his hotels modest, the perfect ghost. But even ghosts cast patterns, and patterns attract hunters. In 1995, Nevada's Gaming Control Board analysts spot something strange. Certain machines are paying out slightly more than statistically possible, just 0.3%, but spread across millions of spins, it's catastrophic. Surveillance tapes reveal players inserting thin tools into payout chutes. When the FBI cross-references travel logs, one name appears everywhere: Tommy Glenn Carmichael. They follow him for days, filming each subtle, almost surgical movement. And on November 4th, 1996, at the Mirage, they strike. Tommy inserts the wand. The machine overpays. He pockets $420. 2 FBI agents step forward. "Tommy Carmichael, you're under arrest." The wand is confiscated. Evidence is overwhelming. He faces 85 years in prison. But Tommy plays his final card. In exchange for freedom, he offers everything he knows: the tools, the vulnerabilities, the blueprints of 2 decades of casino warfare. And the government accepts. Casinos hire him. The same casinos he stole millions from now pay him $5,000 per day to teach them how he beat them. He trains security teams. He rewrites procedures. His knowledge prevents hundreds of millions in future losses. The era of mechanical slot cheating ends because the greatest cheater alive helped bury it. And that's Tommy Carmichael's paradox, the man who robbed Las Vegas for 16 years and then made it safer than ever. A thief who became a consultant, a ghost who became a guardian. He didn't just beat the system, he rewrote it. One tool, one machine, one spin at a time.